Hello students and welcome back to BankExamsToday.com. My name is Ramandeep Singh. Students, Negotiable Instruments Act is an important topic for Bank of Baroda Sales Manager exam. And today we are going to discuss 10 most important MCQs with the proper explanations, right? So let's start the session. Some of these topics, some of these questions were asked in the previous papers. So we are going to discuss that in detail. So let's start the session. Before starting, let me tell you, Bank of Baroda Sales Manager Scale 2 course has been started on BankExamsToday.com, in which we are covering the entire syllabus with the help of video classes, notes, quizzes, and the test series. Link is available in the description, and this is my WhatsApp number where you can ask your doubts. And this is the list of our successful students. All these students took our courses in the past and they cracked their respective exams, and I'm really happy for them. So let's start the session. Which of the following is not a negotiable instrument as per the Negotiable Instruments Act 1881? Promissory note, bills of exchange, a check, or a share certificate. A share certificate is not a negotiable instrument, right? A share certificate is not a negotiable instrument. According to the Negotiable Instrument Act, there are only three kinds of negotiable instruments. First one is promissory notes, bills of exchange, and a check. These three are considered as a negotiable instrument. A share certificate is not freely transferable by endorsement and delivery, right? What is the maximum validity period of a check under Negotiable Instrument Act? The maximum validity period of a check under the Negotiable Instrument Act is 3 months. After 3 months, a check becomes a stale check and you cannot encash it. Okay. Who is a holder in due course? For example, A writes a check to B, right? And B gave that check to C for a consideration. C gave that check to D. So C was a holder in due course, let's say for a period of 5 or 6 days, during which the C holds the check. He remains the holder in due course, right? So who is a holder in due course? So who's the holder in due course? Holder in due course is a person who obtains the instrument before its maturity for consideration, right? So if the person C, he is holding a check for a consideration, right? For a consideration, he provided some services. That is why he's holding that particular check. So for some consideration, and he is first of all holding that particular check before its maturity. So there are three conditions. First one is he is the holder, right? Holder of that instrument. Second one is he is holding that particular check before its maturity. And third one is for consideration, for some services or goods provided, and he is in good faith. His intentions were honest. So these are the conditions. Okay. According to section 138 of Negotiable Instruments Act, it deals with dishonor of the check due to insufficient of funds, right? A check is considered as stale after how many months? After 3 months. It's a repeated question. Who can cross a check? Drawer or the holder? The person who is writing the check or the holder? A is giving check to B, B is giving the check to C, right? So B can actually, cross a check. He can give conditions. Which of the following is true about a bearer check? So a bearer check in which no name is mentioned, it is payable to any person holding the check, right? So a bearer check is a check which is payable to any person who's holding the check. What does not negotiable crossing imply? The transferee cannot have a better title than the transferor. Okay. So not negotiable means the A gave the check to B, so B cannot further negotiate it to any other person, right? So the transferee cannot have a better title than the transferor. Okay. A promissory note must contain an unconditional promise to pay. So promissory note, it is an unconditional promise to pay. There should be no condition attached. In case of dishonor of the check, the complaint must be filed within how many days from the expiry of 15 days of notice period. So after the 15 days of notice period, within 30 days, the complaint can be filed. So if, let's say, Ashu Watches gave you a check for some consideration, right? And the check actually bounced. So after 15 days notice period, you have 30 days to file a case under section 138 after issuing a notice. So what you can do is, as a person, you can give a notice. You need to give a notice to Ashu Watches that, sir, you gave me this particular check number is whatever, right? This is a check number, this is the amount, but the check actually bounced. So I request you to repay the money, right, in due course, and you give a 15 days notice to Ashu Watches, right? So if you do not get a satisfactory reply within 15 days, if you do not get the money within 15 days, then you got 30 days to file a case against Ashu Watches, right? The presumption under section 139 of Negotiable Instruments Act is in favor of the holder. So the section 139 presumes that the holder received the check for a discharge of a debt or the liability, right? So who's going to prove? So for example, B is holding a check. B has got a check which states that A gave him a check of rupees 5 lakh, rupees 5 lakhs, and the maturity date is mentioned, right? So in case A says that this particular 5 lakh rupee check that the B has, I mean, it is fake or whatever, he says there is no consideration involved, or the B got the check by fraud. So section 139 presumes that the holder B received the check for the discharge of debt or liability. So our law, according to section 139, it assumes that B is right, right? B is right, B is correct. A needs to prove why his check, his signed check is with B, right? A needs to prove it. Which section defines a check? Section 6 defines the check. Section 6 of Negotiable Instruments Act, obviously. Who is a drawee in case of a check? So a drawer is, is writing a check. The drawee in case of a check is the bank. It's always the bank. All these questions are very, very important for your exam. So the bank on which the check is drawn is the drawee in case of a check. Which of the following is not a feature of a negotiable instrument? It can be physical or it can be digital. So that's, this is not a feature, right? Title can be passed by delivery, right? It is freely transferable in certain cases, right, to so in one's own name. These are the features, but it can be digital in nature. What is the punishment under section 138 for dishonor of the check? There can be imprisonment of 2 years or fine or both.